Sorry.
Hello, SMM5 here, and today I want to talk about something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and that is the fact that Melony has dormant potential for casual episodes to be different from the rest of the SMG4 girls. I've always felt like the reason Melony isn't used in many videos is because the SMG4 team doesn't really know what to do with her, be it for arcs or for casual episodes. So I thought I'd chime in and explain how I think she should be utilized in casual content. I hope you all enjoy. Now let's get into this. Before we talk about how Melony can be different, let's first talk about what the other SMG4 girls have in common, their common denominator if you will. Well, this common denominator they have is very simple. All of them are a straight man in some sort of way. A straight man in comedy is a foil to the comedy man in a story, in that they give the comedy man lines and opportunities to make jokes, provide a balance and contrast to keep the story interesting, act as a relatable character to the audience in the zaniness of the story, and can even be funny in of themselves in the form of reactions and playing along with the story themselves. The other SMG4 girls all served this in some way at one point down the line. Psycho is pretty much annoyed at anything, while Tari is the one who acts like an introvert to the extroverted zaniness that is going on. Karen is kinda like Psycho, only she has a better variety in her interactions and plays off the joke of what a hard worker will do to get the job done. Meggie as a straight man is a weird case, where she acts like the enthusiastic one who's ready for anything, but is also annoyed at everyone's antics to the point where it's more annoying to me than the antics themselves. My point is that the SMG4 girls are typically straight men, and by proxy, they fulfill a similar role in the story most of the time. But Melony is different, in that she doesn't play as a straight man in many of her appearances. She's actually the one who usually goofs around and gives a funny performance like in Death Row in most of the Costco episode. She really wouldn't work as a straight man due to her silly and curious nature that lead to her cute antics. And I think that is what can make her different from the other SMG4 girls. And I think all that I am trying to say here is that Melony should not be yet another straight man. Melony should be a funny man instead. Funny man characters like Mario and Bob and Swag exist to be the center of chaos in the abundance of their appearances, and while Melony would of course retain the traits that make her different from those characters, namely her being more sensible than them, she would still serve a similar purpose in her own way. It's like how Mario and Bob are both funny guys, but Bob is different because his gimmick is that he specializes in illegal shit and actively goes against the law by choice, while Mario is usually oblivious to an extent and kinda just goes with it and uses the silliness to his advantage. Melony is different in that she is very curious and silly in a cute way, and whenever people watch her antics, they see it as cute in a funny way. It could also lead to interactions and character dynamics we never knew we needed, being that the other girls are straight men. She already has good dynamics with Mario and Bob, and I guess you could add Swag to the list, but those are both funny guys. I could see interesting pairings in the show of Melony with Tari, Wimpu, Psycho, Karen, and Shroomy, and maybe even more that I haven't thought about. I think there is a lot that can be done with Melony being a funny guy type of character. That is all for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Hopefully this will help the writers be more confident in using Melony in future videos. She's one of my favorite characters in the show, and even outside of serious storytelling, I think a lot can be done with her character in casual videos. That is all for today. See you all next time. Now if you excuse me, I have to explain why Z moves are the best Pokemon gimmick.